Hi, this is Jeff Slater again with Kaleidoscope, and today we're getting down into the nitty-gritty with some SEO, talking about Google algorithms, wanting to help orthodontic practices understand a little bit more about how Google works and how Google is evaluating your website so that you can look for areas to improve and get stronger on local search. The main takeaway here is trust. You need to build trust with Google in order for your website to rank. So in short, trust equals rankings. When Google crawls your website, they are trying to determine whether or not your site is relevant, authoritative. Do you have expertise? Do you have experience? Are you providing the type of information that would be relevant and match for an orthodontic search, for braces, for Invisalign, for aligners? Google is crawling your site looking for a few specific things, and they may not be what you think they are. First and foremost, Google's looking for content, written content, keywords, descriptions, services. At the end of the day, Google is not admiring your photos, your color palette, your logo, your aesthetic. The algorithm doesn't really care what the site looks like. The algorithm cares how fast does that website load? How organized is the information? How intuitive is this framework so that users can find what they're looking for quickly and painlessly? What are some things you can look for on your own website today to do your own mini analysis? See if you have enough written content on the page. See if your website is linking to other pages. Also, this is a big one. Test your website on a phone, not just your phone. Find an iPhone 13, an iPhone 16, a Samsung, a Droid. Test your website on different smartphones to make sure that it appears correctly, that it loads quickly, that the links are working. Your mobile website or the mobile version of your site is actually the first version that Google will index and rank. That shifted a few years ago, and not everybody understands mobile first indexing and the importance that it has. When we're evaluating sites and building sites and scrutinizing websites, it often happens on a laptop or maybe dual monitors. We've got big desktop computers. Google actually cares more about how your site loads and looks and performs on a phone. So if it's been a while since you remembered, when's the last time I pulled up my site on the phone, scrolled around, clicked into a few of the pages, go ahead and test that. Your links, your content, your mobile friendliness, your download speed. Another thing you can look at, and you might have to Google this to get a little more information, called Core Web Vitals. Download speed is a part of that. Your security score is a part of that. How does your website stack up to your competitors? When it comes to rankings, Google cares the most about the structure, the framework, the under the hood optimization. You might have heard me say this in a previous video. The aesthetic or the visual look of your site is only about 40% of the substance or the value or the importance. The majority of your website's value and importance, about 60%, is that optimization, the under the hood setup and the framework. Is it organized? Is it intuitive? When Google crawls your site, they're not going to jump through hoops and go front, back, and center to try and figure out what you do and where you do it and what services you offer. It needs to be presented in an organized and intuitive, user-friendly, well-structured format, both for the algorithm and for your human users. Now, good news, if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by everything I just threw at you, Kaleidoscope offers a free evaluation. We will run an analysis on your current website. We'll look under the hood. We'll also check the rankings to see how it's performing. And then we'll meet you online to discuss our findings and come up with a roadmap for getting you where you need to go. If you're an orthodontist watching this video and maybe SEO isn't one of your interests, maybe you don't spend a lot of time thinking about this, you're asking yourself, why do I care? Why do I need to know this? At the end of the day, you can have the most beautiful website in the world. You can have the most beautiful office. You can have the best staff. If your website is not set up to tell that story, and it's not optimized to satisfy Google's requirements to show up in local search, nobody is going to find you online. We need to play by Google's rules if we want to be visible on local search when your prospective patients pull their phone out of their pocket or pull out their laptop to start searching for an orthodontist near them. So again, you can have the greatest office and the best treatment in the whole town, in the whole city. If your website does not A, reflect that accurately, and B, is not structured in a way that Google trusts, your visibility will not be there. your new patients or prospective new patients will not be able to find you. And I want to point out where this is really critical is for prospective patients who don't already know who you are. If someone's referred to you by a friend or a family member or a fellow parent on a sports team and they know your name, they will be able to find you. This is critical for the rest of the prospective patients in your area who maybe have never heard of you before. So they're doing a more broad, a more general search for orthodontic providers. If you don't have these building blocks in place, those prospective patients who don't already know who you are will not be able to find you.